to 5.
Okay. And then I got another question. So what is your biggest piece of advice for sumo pullers?
Don't be pulling your singles with straps only that are like in the knurling of the middle back knurling of the bar. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I don't like that. The idea of like, okay, if you're gonna do it for clout lifting, but it just makes no sense in the terms of powerlifting unless you're hooking that close to the bar, which is, I've seen some people do it, but it's really unrealistic because there's nothing to grab there, you know?
Yeah.
But that, and then, you know, don't be going too wide. I see too many kids that I'll be answering in my DMs when they send me videos like, hey, can you check my form? And they're going way too wide. You know,
Where do you grip the bar there?
Me? I go one finger in the knurling, one finger in the smooth, and then the rest are on the knurling.
That's what I tell people a lot of times, because I see guys grip it on just the smooth, like super narrow, and I'm like, you're not going to be able to lock it out, and you're going to have a hard time holding on to it.
Yeah. So then that's where you get into the Tyson kid or whatever, right?
Yeah. What do you think of him?
He hasn't done a meet, right? I don't know about how much I can say about the kid because I don't have any beef with him, right? It's just people try to make beef. That's the thing. You know, when people, the idea of like people comparing other people to it, and then you have it where I'm getting tagged in his videos or he's getting tagged in my videos, you know? And it's just your own followers just trying to start controversy versus I've never talked with him. I've seen glimpses of his polls, but at the end of the day, right now it's almost where he's just doing social media polls, which I know where I came from being that kind of that social, just doing stuff for social media, you know. Granted, I was doing all my stuff without straps, but that's kind of the difference of I didn't want to just be a social media lifter. I wanted to be able to be like where I was in competition and I can win, you know, and people are like, oh, that's Sawyer, an actual power lifter, you know.
Everybody compares you to. It's the only thing I will say, Tyson we know is taking SARMs.
I've heard that. I didn't know if that's factual or not, but I didn't want to say, well, the kid's taking SARMs. I've heard he's taken RAD and MK677. That's all I've heard he's taken.
I don't want to put. I believe he's admitted that. I believe he's literally admitted it. So that is one thing. And he took. I think he took. Did he take terkestrone? I don't know or not, guys. I'm not gonna like. But and I'm not. Not legitimizing his lifts. The guy pulls 900 at like what, a ridiculously young age. He's a freak. The guy is every bit as strong as I was on deadlift. I'm not hating on the guy. I took Trent and tons of other stuff to get to that point. So he's very impressive. I think Sawyer's point is like, why, do a meet. Like get on calibrated plates because we know calibrated plates are harder. Do a meet.
Well, it's just you're comparing at the end of the day apples to oranges. You know, where, yes, he's doing a deadlift, but it's not to the same standard of what other people are. So don't compare it to that same standard, you know?
Well, let's go back to your mean March. Ohio Power Bar, calibrated plates, and competition. And no straps.
Yep.
Different ball game. Guys.
Like, when I'm doing, like, if I go for that 900 on the kabuki, right? I want to do it on all kilos on a hook grip, right? I'll say that the way I see it, right, is because he's done 900, but his was very kind of rigged up, kind of where it was soft knees, straps, whatnot. I want to make it where, and I've tried to do this where anytime I have done a single, it's where it's cut and dry, like it's there, it would pass in a meet, even though if it was in like a gym training session, I've done it. I've only had it once where I was mad about it. When I pulled my first 770, I had it where I was on uneven, like an uneven deadlift platform where they instead of having it be like horse stall mats, I prefer it. They had those rubber squares. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And my toe was in between one of them, so it was like rocking back and forth.
Oh, dude, that's the worst.
Yeah, so on my 770, you can see what happens is my big toe goes like down and shifts in, and then my right knee kind of shifted in, and then like there was a downward motion, and then I got it. And that was the first time I pulled 770, but I was just pissed the entire day because of the downward motion. Like that's how anal I am about.
Yeah, but I've said it. You're like me. You're crazy. You're focused. You're a freak. Like that's how it is. You have a high standard. That's why I asked you dead on, which I think it's awesome. I asked you dead on. I go, what's the goal? You go 1,000 natural, and I'm like, holy hell! Like that's the freak in your mind. Like I love it. Like that's what